All righty, team. We are ready to rock and roll on this deal. I'm just going to give it a minute or two to let everybody tune in to get all set up. I hope you're having a great Monday. Let's see. Give it just another second. I'm trying to get all like techie with it. There you go. Sweet, man. All right, so we are going to get rocking and rolling for today. Here's what we got going on. We are today, I'm going to be bringing you a little bit better audio in the future, but we enhanced the video quality. So I hope you're seeing that right now, but I'm going to get a little bit better audio system in a second. So I'm bringing you these shows every Monday and Wednesday. If we have not got to meet yet, my name is Mitchell Black. I'm the founder of StrongSide, and I just want to bring you a whole bunch of value. And every Monday at 12:15 and every Wednesday at 12:15, I'm going to be putting on a show for you. And the Monday show is called the Monday Mashup. That's what you're watching right now. I'll be bringing you a different fitness or nutrition topic every week. And then every Wednesday, I'm going to be bringing you the fitness business, or the business of fitness, where we're going to break down a different topic every week. This upcoming week, we're going to be talking about heart rate training and stuff like that. And I'm not here to bash it. I'm just going to give you all the details that you might need. All right. I'm going to tell you what it is and how it works and all this kind of stuff. You can make your own opinion. But today, I'm going to talk to you about stress and sleep. Super interesting topic. I bet you're all out there. I bet you've got so much stress that you can't even sleep because you've been focused so much on today's topic of stress and sleep. So, oh no, my marker. All right, so look, here's the deal. We all know that stress is not a good thing, and we all know that we need to sleep, right? So I'm going to break it down for you. Look, you need to sleep and you need to be less stressed, but you can't just say sleep more, be stressed less, because that's just going to make you more stressed out, right? Look, what I want you to understand, what I want you to get out of today's topic of stress and sleep is how to balance your hormones. You're going to hear me talk about that a lot. You're going to hear me talk about how to balance your endocrine system. And your endocrine system is your hormone management system. And anytime that you do anything to your body, there's going to be a response. And your body's going to have a response, and it's going to be a good response, a bad response, positive response, negative response. That is what happens when you take in calories or have an environmental factor or something like that. You know, we talk about it all the time with calories, that you can't just eat less and exercise more. It has to be, okay, what are these calories doing to my body? Right? And that's how it affects your hormone system. So here's what I want you to think about. When you're looking at stress, when you're looking at sleep, when you're trying to balance this thing, when you're saying, hey, how do I sleep better? You're really trying to balance a circadian rhythm. And that is basically your body's internal alarm clock. And it's how your body regulates hormones on a 24-hour period. So if this was hour 1, and then this is hour 24, how does it regulate it in a 24-hour period? And you might be thinking, what does that even mean? Your hormones, when it comes to stress and sleep, function off light, meaning that if there's more light or less light, your body is going to have an endocrine response, meaning that your body doesn't really know that you're awake or that it's time to wake up. I'm sorry, your brain doesn't. Your body just kind of understands, okay, there's light outside, I need to be awake, whatever. So I'm going to give you some examples. The goal of this deal of setting your body into a sleep cycle is to first be asleep at the most opportunistic time. And the most opportunistic time to be asleep is 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So if you could sleep from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., that means that your growth hormones are going to be the highest. Your body is going to go into a recovery state. It's going to start saying, I need to heal. All that working out that you did, your body's going to send more signals to the muscles to recover. It's going to start sending aid to all of your arteries, all of your joints. Inflammation is going to start going away. Now we're going to talk about what if I can't sleep here in a second, but I just want you to understand this idea of circadian rhythm for a second. 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. If there's ever light presented, Like, let's say you sleep with your TV on. That's going to increase your stress hormones. Let's say you get up in the middle of the night and turn on the lights. Or what if you have a lamp on? Or, hey, check it out. You ready? Screen time. If you have anything that is bringing light into your equation, your body's stressor hormones go up. Why is it not good to have a stressor hormone? Because it's what keeps you awake, bro, and you're trying to go to sleep, right? So look, I know you got a lot of questions. I'm getting there. Comment your questions below, by the way, and I'll answer them. But think about it. Look at the big picture here. You have a circadian rhythm. It's a 24-hour clock on your body. The circadian rhythm is your body's internal alarm clock. And it tells your body every day when certain hormones should go up and when certain hormones should go down. It's telling your body that from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., its sleep hormones should go up. Just like at 4 p.m., it's telling your body that your hunger hormones should go up. That's why you get the after-school snack, midday craving. You want some salt and sugar. We'll talk about that in a second. But when we look at one thing that could impact the stressor hormones, what could happen is light. If I do anything to increase my level of light between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., then my stressor hormones go up. You with me? All right, that's all I need you to understand right now, is that there is a circadian rhythm, an internal alarm clock. If I look at sleep specifically, it functions from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., and light is not a good thing because it makes my stressor hormones go up. So what in the world is stressor hormones? Let's talk about that. So your stressor hormones are called cortisol. Cortisol is an adrenal hormone. Adrenal glands sit on top of your kidneys, all right? And they pump out cortisol just like this into your bloodstream. Now, don't think that that's all bad. You need cortisol. If you're drinking coffee while you're watching this right now, for every 100 milligrams of caffeine you drink, your cortisol levels go up 20%. You need cortisol in the morning. You need cortisol when you work out. You need cortisol in any stress situation. You need it. But too much of it is always a bad thing, right? If there's too much cortisol in the bloodstream, it goes up into your brain and it starts eating away at melatonin. Now, melatonin is your sleep hormone. It's produced in the pineal gland of your brain, which sits right here, kind of in the middle, just not up top, but in the middle. And melatonin pumps out into your body. Melatonin is the hormone that's going nuts right here. That thing is getting produced to get your body to go asleep, stay asleep, and heal itself. In your brain, you have all these little melatonin pools, and the goal is to have those melatonin pools filled up. Now, if cortisol is produced too often, too frequently, at too high of levels, then it cuts off melatonin production. And your body cannot get into a true sleep state. It can't go to sleep well, can't stay asleep well, it can't heal itself well. So what are the symptoms if melatonin is not replenished enough and cortisol levels are too high because the circadian rhythm is thrown off? What are the symptoms? Do you crash in the middle of the day between 1 to 4 p.m.? Do you need that lull real bad and I got to drink some caffeine to come out of it? You get carb and sugar cravings specifically right before bed. Are you waking up in the middle of the night specifically between 1 and 3 a.m. to go to the bathroom? Are you struggling to go to sleep? You got like insomnia, hyperarousal of your mind, just can't turn your mind off before bed. All of those are signs of the cortisol production being way too high and the melatonin production being not stable enough. So before I talk about how to fix it, I want to talk about why you need to cure it. If you can manage this cortisol level, meaning that it looks something like this, high in the morning and a steady decrease all day, that would be the goal. Most people look like this, high in the morning, drop down, bring it back up, oh, I can't sleep. If you can do this and you get your melatonin going, then your sleep cycle becomes better. See, the whole goal with sleeping is that you should go to sleep and wake up. That's it. You should ideally fall asleep in under 7 minutes. You should stay asleep all night and you should wake up in the beginning. Now, check this out. Wake up is really important. You can't be hitting the snooze alarm, all right? So before we talk about how to fix all this, I'm going to show you how to fix it. I'm going to give you dietary and supplementation guidelines on how to fix this stuff. But I want you to understand what it should look and feel like. All right. So I told you like why sleep is all important. Like you're going to have these carb and sugar cravings, whatever. If you don't fix it, what's going to happen is you're going to get a whole bunch of belly fat storage. You're going to work out really hard, and right around the waistline, right around your belly button is going to start storing a bunch of fat. That's where your body tells stress to store fat. Your body stores fat in different areas for different reasons. If you were eating things that made your insulin levels go up, it would tell your body to, if you were eating something to tell your insulin levels to go up, then it would tell your body to store fat around the midsection. If you are raising your stressor levels from some things we're going to talk about in a second, it will tell your body to store fat around the belly and around the love handles. And we talk about that often on these shows and where your body stores fat. I know that sounds crazy, but if you think about that, how come you store fat around your belly, but you don't store fat on the back of your hand, right? You store fat in different areas for different reasons. That's all you need to know. If stress goes up too much, cortisol level goes up too high, then you're going to store fat around the belly. You're going to store fat around the love handles. You're also just going to feel terrible. You're not going to have stable energy. You're going to go like this. You're always going to feel like you need something. You're always going to feel like you need, caffeine, or you need a nap. Most people don't know how good they're supposed to feel. And the idea of getting your body into a constant sleep cycle will give it constant energy, and your overall production of just being a human will feel way, way better. All right. So that's one thing that you want here. All right. Now, how should you focus on fixing it? All right. If your cortisol levels are really, really high, that's a really good indicator that there's too much negative stress on your body. Now, positive stress is working out, winning the lottery. It's basically a high intense burst for a short amount of time. Lifting weights is one of the best things that you can do to decrease your cortisol levels, because your adrenals pump out more cortisol to keep you awake when there's no outside stimulus. If I do a couple back squats, for example, my body starts producing all this growth hormone, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. Those are all growth hormones. It's going to start moving it up. Well, I don't need as much cortisol when I do that. So anytime that I'm in absence of that, my body starts producing more cortisol. I'll give you an example. Not eating produces cortisol. Check that out. 94% of people, 94% of people, look at that big old arrow. 94% of people undereat. You can't stay alive if you don't eat. So if you don't eat, if you just subtract calories from your body, now we're talking the good calories, low glycemic index, lean animal proteins, eating half your body weight in grams of protein every day, drinking half your body weight in ounces of water, eating 2 to 3 servings of vegetables every day. We're talking good calories here. If you do that, you're going to give your body its needed energy. It won't need to produce more cortisol to keep you going. Your body's just trying to stay alive. It's just trying to stay awake. It's just trying to move forward. So if you don't feed it, and what do I mean by that? Like, don't feed it. Look, I don't meet with people that can't lose weight because they're eating too many pizzas. I meet with people that can't lose weight because they're super busy. They skip breakfast. They had a granola bar. Oh, it was a bagel out the door, whatever. Oh, lunch was, 2 scoops of peanut butter. And then I was just like gone all day. But I got my workout in. You overstressed your body. You didn't eat. You demanded a lot from it without feeding it. It will keep cortisol at high levels to keep you awake. And then you will crash in the middle of the day and stuff like that. It's just stress, stress, stress. Your body will be in a constant state of fight or flight over and over and over again. Feeding it is a big one. Long duration cardio, or LSD, long slow distance cardio, is a great way to keep your cortisol levels really high and store a ton of fat. Look, I get it. I've done 2 full Ironmans. You're talking 12 hours of exercise nonstop. I've run marathons. I've done 100-mile bike rides. I love it. I'm not saying don't do it. What I'm saying is I have seen a ton of overweight people run marathons, 10Ks, and 5Ks. I have never seen an overweight sprinter. Think about that. What you're doing, if all of your exercise is a long duration, just I'm going to go run, burn a whole bunch of calories, get on the elliptical, boom, boom, boom. If that's all you do, your body is just producing cortisol all the time. See, anytime you exercise, your body produces cortisol. But the problem with, I'm going to go do 90 minutes of cycling 4 days a week, is that your body is producing cortisol for 90 minutes, 4 days a week. If like, let's say like there's a class going on right now, I'm at our Roswell location. If there's a class going on right now, they're going to do something and then take a break, and then do something and then take a break. Your cortisol is going to go up and it's going to come down. It's going to go up. So overall, it's not being produced nonstop. You also don't give your adrenals a break. So if you're working out for moderate duration, long period of time, and your adrenal glands, those glands that sit on top of your kidneys, if they're having to pump out cortisol all the time, you get adrenal fatigue. Adrenal fatigue is when there's, oh man, and you just crash down, high energy, crash down. It's usually in the middle of the day, like I said, this like, oh man, I got to get going again. And then what do you feel? You feel like you need a nap or something like that. After any stressful situation, your body just flights down. You don't want that. You want constant disperse of energy. A great way to decrease belly fat is to increase intensity, not duration, increase intensity. Go as hard as you can, take a break. Go as hard as you can, take a break. Over and over again. Intervals are freaking king when it comes to increasing growth hormone, decreasing stressors, and lowering cortisol levels, right? What will happen is after the workout, as these growth hormones go up, your cortisol levels will start looking like this. They'll start coming down. If you go run for an hour, it's hard to go to sleep because your brain's racing, right? If you do these intervals, for example, then your growth hormone goes up, cortisol goes down, you can go to sleep and you can stay asleep for much longer. Now that's kind of, if you got questions, comment below. This is live, I'll break them down. But when we look at that exercise component, and we look at that nutrition component, what are some things that you could do in your nutrition to make sure that this sleep cycle is of a higher level or higher quality? So what I said at the beginning of this was that I can't just tell you to sleep more, right? Like, yeah, I painted you a picture. I said circadian rhythm. I said 10 to 6. Hey, it's regulated by light. Okay, that's cool. That's just to get the point across. But I can't just tell you that. And then you're like, okay, like I'll go to sleep. That's not going to work. So how do we actually get the cortisol levels to come down? I mentioned earlier that most people wake up in the middle of the night, not because they have to pee, it's because they get a blood sugar drop. It's just a stress signal to your body to pee. Everybody knows you get the stress pees. You've had to go on stage, you've had to give a presentation, you've had to do something for work, you ain't got to pee, you're stressed, all right? So, but it's a signal, oh, wake up. You know, I'm hungry, I'm getting a blood sugar drop. There's some real strategic things that you can do to make sure that your cortisol level functions really well. Number one is you need half your body weight in grams of protein every day. That is step one. And that is 0.5 grams of protein. So if you weigh 200 pounds, that means you need 100 grams of protein every day. If you want to take it a step further, you need 30% of your protein every day. I'm not saying one is better or worse. It's two different ways to measure it. You need at least 30% of your total calories every day coming from protein, or half your body weight in grams of protein, whichever way you want to look at it. What that will do for you is it will allow your growth hormones to stay steady. Whenever there's not enough protein in your body starts going into what's called catabolism, where your body starts eating itself for energy. Your body will not eat fat first. I know that, oh man, that's terrible. I know. Your body won't eat fat first because it gets the most energy from fat. Your body will get the most energy, will get quicker energy from sugar and protein, and it will start breaking that down and it will start saving the fat. So if you go back to this, 94% of people do not eat enough every day. 94% of people are under eating and not eating enough protein in their diet. Then yeah, your body's just going to eat itself for energy. That's called catabolism. Don't want that. You can get, we carry Ascent protein shakes here at Strongside. We're doing a pre-order right now for vanilla chocolate and chocolate peanut butter. Chocolate peanut butter is really stinking good. That's an easy way to get protein into your diet. Protein powder is not better than chicken breast. It's just that if you know that you have to get this number in, are you going to go home and grill a chicken breast right now? Absolutely not. Protein powder is also cheaper than chicken breast. Check that out. You know, it's $42 for a bag of Ascent protein that has 30 servings in it. And a lot of people look at it and they go, oh, $42. Yeah, bro, you don't buy 30 chicken breasts at the same time. Go buy 30 meals worth of chicken and see how much that costs. It is cheaper and faster than protein powder. However, while I'm on that topic, no more than 2 shakes a day. No, 1 to 2 shakes a day. You can't be just drinking all your food and then you don't get any nutrients, and you don't want that. But it is a very easy, very convenient way to get your protein in to do that. Now, number 2 is actually fat. Check that out. So fat is, you ready? Friend. That is friend. I know. Check that out. So here's the deal. I'm not telling you to eat 1,000,000 grams of fat, but here's what I am saying is that the absence of fat decreases your body's ability to manage blood sugar. Anytime that your blood sugar goes down, your body will have to produce more cortisol to keep you awake and keep you alive. Now, you need cortisol, but you don't need too much of it, or this whole sleep cycle gets thrown off, right? So if you're like a heavy snacker at night, if you're like, oh man, I've got to have my dessert, I got to have whatever, try to get 15 grams of fat in before bed. Now, I'm not saying right before bed, maybe 30, 40 minutes before bed or something like that. I'm about to wrap up these nutrition recommendations, so comment below if you have any. I'm going to go into supplementation next on some things you can do. But 15 grams of fat before bed. Fat is not going to make you fat. Carbs make you fat. All right. Carbs elevate blood sugar, they elevate insulin, and that's what tells your body to store fat. An adequate amount of fat, 15 grams, that is like 1 serving of almonds, is not going to make you fat. If you're waking up in the middle of the night, you're getting really hungry, you're craving dessert, you know, like whatever, I'm telling you, 1 serving of fat, 1 serving. Flip that sucker over and look at the food label, by the way. Let me tell you how much 1 serving of peanut butter is. 2 tablespoons with things scraped off, and what's in there. You are delusional if you think 1 scoop of peanut butter and all the heaping crap on there is like, oh man, this is just what a serving of peanut butter is. No, it's not. I'm sorry to ruin your life, but it's not. Go look at what an actual serving of peanut butter is. But that's what I'm talking about, is 1 serving of fat. Now, the final nutrition recommendation here is to lower your glycemic index of food. So look, you got to go to sleep and you got to stay asleep. If what you're eating before bed, see, most people's highest calorie meal or best quality meal, or whatever you want to call it, is their dinner. So what they're actually doing is they're going all day and not eating, and they're averting their attention by thinking about school, work, caffeine, all the stuff they got to do. So they don't think about the food. So they just put it off and they pretend like they're not hungry, but you're really just not thinking about it. And then you come home at night and you eat all this food. Now, I'm not here to say that, you know, you call it fasting or whatever. The volume isn't really the problem. What happens is the blood sugar goes up, and then the blood sugar comes down because it's usually starchy. There might be some alcohol involved. There might be a dessert, you know, whatever. And the blood sugar goes up, but then the blood sugar, like I said, comes down. And it comes down a couple hours after eating, probably 4, 6, 8 hours after eating. So what happens is you eat dinner at 7, 2 o'clock in the morning, you wake up, mind's racing, and you're like, oh man, maybe you wake up hungry, wake up, you got to pee. Your cortisol levels are way too high. When blood sugar goes up, cortisol goes up, and it's just a stress factory in your body. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to level that off by maybe increasing your growth hormone to the intervals or doing this type of exercise. You know, I'm obviously a huge fan of the training we do here at StrongSide, but like, let's say you're in Mexico and we don't have StrongSide in Mexico, you need to be thinking weightlifting, you need to be thinking intervals, but you also need to be thinking half your body weight in grams of protein every day, maybe 1 to 2 protein shakes. You need to be thinking 1 serving of fat before bed. All right. Now, those are some nutrition recommendations with a little exercise mixed in there. What about supplementation? Because what if you want to start tonight? What if you want to start tonight and you're like, bro, almonds aren't going to make me go to sleep? I totally get you. All right. So, I'm going to answer some of these questions at the end. So keep commenting questions. We got a couple minutes left. I'll start answering questions. But let's say I look at supplementation. So the first thing you need to do is you need to be able to go asleep. Then you need to be able to stay asleep. I'm going to talk about the waking up here in a second. So how do you go to sleep? If your mind is racing and you're like, oh man, I'm thinking about everything in the world. Okay, the first thing you gotta do, get the light out. You gotta get the light out. I don't care if you gotta put one of those things on your eyes or you can't, it's just all darkness. Put your phone down, stop looking at stuff. Like, come on, do you really think you're gonna be able to go to sleep by looking at stressful emails or pulling up Facebook and just, come on, no, get that out of here. So if you can't go to sleep, get that out. If you have to go to sleep with the TV on, at least put a TV timer on there, do something like that. Now, a product called Relora from Thorne. I'll just write this in the middle, but Relora from Thorne is really, really good. Relora is a complex of B vitamins and Chinese herbs. The goal of this is to lower the cortisol levels. You're going to take 2 capsules, most likely before dinner, because I'm going to assume on an empty stomach, but 90 minutes or greater before bed. Most people's cortisol is peaking at night, which is unfortunate because after 4 p.m. it should kind of be going down, but your brain is going to get into a circadian rhythm like this of thinking when its high stress levels are. And it's going to be like, oh my goodness, I need cortisol to be high, whatever. Okay, you start with the supplementation to get your body in its natural rhythm. It's going to take about 60 to 90 days to start regulating it, start getting your body used to knowing when it needs to pump out cortisol, and it needs to get out of its fight or flight stage, and it needs to get you in a normal state. Taking Relora before dinner on an empty stomach will get the cortisol levels to level off. Now, there is another product that you can take. This is going to lower the cortisol levels, all right? That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go sleep, all right? It just means that the hyperarousal of your mind is going to come down, all right? Keep in mind, this is Chinese herbs and B vitamins. This is not a Xanax, all right? So adjust your expectations accordingly. So, Relora, the things you can do to stay asleep, you can combine 2 supplements that I'm a huge fan of. Number 1 is 5-HTP. And the other one is melatonin. All right, so 5-HTP, that is 5 molecules of hydrogen and tryptophan. That does a great job getting your body to relax. It's almost like a natural sedative where you got to get to calm down a little bit. Again, this is not morphine or Percocet, right? So chill out, but it's natural. So it's going to get you to like calm down a little bit. The 5 molecules of hydrogen and tryptophan is more tryptophan than you get, on Thanksgiving dinner or whatever you think's going to put you to sleep. It's not, but it kind of gets you to calm down a little bit. That will get you to stay asleep. All right. The melatonin. All right. On average, you're going to need somewhere between 3 to 6 milligrams of melatonin. I take the Ollie melatonins because they're chewable and they're gummy and they're purple and they're delicious and they're great. And I take 5 milligrams nearly every night. Now, you don't need to take all of them. Here's how you need to adjust it. For me, I have no problem going to sleep. All right. I don't even really have a problem staying asleep. But for me, I don't get as much volume as most people. It's really hard for me to get 8 hours. I'm just going to be real with you. It's like 6 to 7. All right. Number 1, you want to focus on quality first, volume second when it comes to your sleep. If you can focus on quality first and volume second, there's a really good chance that you will decrease your stress levels, increase growth hormone, decrease all the belly fat that you got. All right, check that out. You also just freaking feel better because you won't be dragging all day because you can't sleep. Like, do you really think you should just be popping up and waking up 12 times at night and then wake up the next day and go, I don't know what's wrong with me, I slept? No, you didn't. Slept terribly. All right, so focus on sleep quality first. If you cannot go to sleep, you're just laying there and you're like, oh my goodness, you're going to take Relora before bed on an empty stomach. And you can take 5-HTP at the same time. You can get both those from Thorne, by the way. And then you're going to take your melatonin. You're going to take that 30 to 45 minutes before bed. And it's going to be somewhere between 3 to 6 milligrams of melatonin. If you're like me and you don't have a problem going to sleep, you just want to increase your sleep quality, then you're just going to take the melatonin. And you're going to take 3 to 6 milligrams 30 to 45 minutes before bed. Now, how do you know if you're taking enough melatonin? I'll tell you this. The goal of taking the melatonin is to just go to sleep and just wake up, right? That's what you need to do. If you take melatonin and you wake up and you feel groggy, you actually didn't take enough. You actually didn't take enough or you slept too little. You either slept under 6 hours or you didn't take enough. So you need to take a little bit more. Maybe you go from 3 milligrams to 5. You can start really low, whatever. If you remember your dreams, you didn't take enough. I know that's crazy. You shouldn't actually remember your dreams. It means that you weren't deep enough in your sleep. It should be asleep. Wake up. You should be like, wow, what happened? You should be waking up before your alarm. Now, you don't have to take this forever, because what this is going to do is this stuff is going to lower the cortisol levels. And then you're going to take your melatonin to replenish the melatonin pools in your brain. So there's a good chance that after a while, those melatonin pools are going to get refilled. As they get refilled, you might start taking melatonin and feel like you don't need to take it anymore. That's okay. Cycle off of it. Don't take it for a couple of weeks and then get back on it if you feel like the stress levels are going back up. This usually works in a 3-month rotation. Maybe 3 months on melatonin, 1 month off, or a couple of weeks off, because you're naturally going to deplete the melatonin pools, and you might not need to be on the melatonin all the time. You can't overdose on it unless you're just a psycho. You would have to take at least 21 milligrams of melatonin before you even had any side effects. More than that, you probably just throw up. But it's a natural hormone produced from your brain. I'm a huge fan of putting things in your in your body that your body makes. I'm not a huge fan of putting things in your body that your body doesn't make. Notice the supplements we talk about all the time. Protein, multivitamins that you kind of get from food. Your body makes amino acids that are in protein. Your body makes creatine. Your body makes melatonin. All we're doing is talking about putting in more things that your body already makes. We're not talking about taking things in that your body doesn't already make. All right. So that supplementation guideline will usually get you to sleep. Now let's focus on the goals a little bit. Your body functions on a circadian rhythm. That's its internal alarm clock. That internal alarm clock regulates hormones, when to go up and when to go down. What you are trying to do is to get your cortisol levels to go up in the morning so you have the most amount of energy, and steadily decrease all day long, avoiding adrenal fatigue, avoiding midday lulls, stuff like that. How you can do that is through the dietary and supplementation guidelines that I gave. You can rewind this video, you can share it with a friend, whatever. We are starting to carry Ascent protein, but that is one of our 5 baselines here at Strong Side. You need to be getting half your body weight in grams of protein every day. No more than 2 shakes a day is going to be your best friend, right? Now, I'm going to leave you with one more thing. That's a lifestyle recommendation. If you do this and you're still strung up, or something that you could start right now, what if you're like, I don't have melatonin today? A lifestyle choice that you can make is to stretch and or foam roll before bed. Stretching is great. Foam rolling is greater. And the reason for that, foam rolling gets your muscles to kind of break up and separate connective tissue, and your brain to send signals to them to heal. So again, stretching is great, but foam rolling is out of control. There's so much research showing a de-stressor, the stress hormones coming down, so your body can start healing itself and going to sleep more and relaxing itself from foam rolling. Ideally, you foam roll 30-40 minutes before bed, maybe the same time you start taking melatonin, maybe the same time you start turning your lights off. It's the last time you check your email or Facebook or something like that. Really look at your sleep as an experience. If you can look at your sleep as a sleep experience more so than something you have to do, it will elevate your quality. And if you can elevate your quality, you're going to get a better outcome on your workouts. You're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. Your happy hormones get higher. Yes, sleep is awesome, and you might lose weight from doing it, but you'll definitely just freaking feel better by doing it. So how do you do it? With dietary, supplementation, and lifestyle guidelines. And that's what I wanted to break up for you today. If you got a question below, do comment it. Let's see, question from Miss Liz. She said, I sometimes feel a crash about an hour after my AM workout. I usually come home from the gym, eat my overnight oats, shower, and then I feel like a crash. Would switching my meal before the gym help, or adding something before the gym? So usually when that happens in an early morning workout, if it's a constant level of crash like that, then what I would suggest doing is simple carbs before and after. So if you keep your overnight oats after the workout, more than likely you're probably crashing because of blood sugar. So what I would recommend is after the workout, keep your overnight oats if you want, but those are really complex. I would also add in maybe some granola or a half serving of fruit to pump the blood sugar back up. And then if that overnight oats doesn't have protein in it, maybe put a little half serving of protein powder or something in there, so it will stabilize the blood sugar. And then before the workout, I'm not saying you have to have a whole meal, but could you do like a handful of blueberries or something that's just straight sugar? And I know that sounds crazy. I didn't say pixie sticks or something. I said like a handful of blueberries. Just try that, because more than likely you're crashing because you burned up all this blood sugar in your body. What if you could just pump it in there real quick? So it burned all the sugar around the exercise, but you got the benefit of fat metabolism burn after the workout. All right. So hope that answers your question. I'm always here for you guys. My email is on this stream. Like I said, I'm doing these shows every Monday and Wednesday. So today is and yeah, she just let's just comment that she's gonna try tomorrow. Cool. Let me know how it goes. All right. Shoot me an email or something. But I bring these shows to you every Monday and Wednesday. Today is the Monday mashup, where we talk about a different fitness and nutrition topic. And then Wednesday at 12:15, we're going to be talking about the business of fitness. On Wednesday, I'm going to be talking about heart rate training. I'm going to break up what it is, how it works. I used to be a metabolic technician for 5 years. I used to administer, I'd get you like on this machines or equipment, and I had monitor your oxygen in, your carbon dioxide out, and break down your 5 zones of heart rate training. I'm going to tell you if it's beneficial or not, when to use it, how the whole thing works, how to measure it, and really just break it down, all centered around fat metabolism. So what we're not going to be talking about is sports specific training, because that's not really, what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is general specifics. We're here to talk about how most people can lose weight. We're here to talk about how you reach your goals the fastest. So that's what we're going to break down on Wednesday. All right. So hope this video did you some good. It's going to be back on our YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a little love, a little comment, and maybe tell me some topics you want to hear in the future. So happy Monday, my friends.